Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to another tips and tricks video in Clash Royale. So, in today's video, guys, we're talking about why copying a pro player dog does not really work for new players. All right, if you ever go ahead to copy a pro player dog and you go ahead to jump into the match and you notice you still lose the match, well, this happens to new players a lot. So, the main reason why you should not go ahead to copy a pro player dog, on today's video, I will explain everything for you. All right, first of all, before you go ahead to copy anybody dog, one thing you need to know is that you guys are not in the same level. And let's say, for example, you go ahead to copy a player that's actually on the same level, you guys does not still play on the same arena and still not on the same game style. All right, first of all, talking about arena, you go ahead and click over this box over here. We're gonna take you to the arena. So this is the arena. I know most players know this already. So right now, you can see right now, I'm actually at arena 9. Yes, I still need to go ahead and complete to get to 10. All right, right now, if anybody below me goes ahead to, or if I go ahead right now to copy a player that is actually at arena, for example, 11, we might not have the same card. Yes, we might not have the same card because this game actually has so many card collection whereby the more you keep playing, the more you keep unlocking different card. And yes, there are still some card which I will actually like to collect. For example, this ghost card. Yes, it's very good, but I still don't have it yet, but I can't really wait to unlock it. All right. So there are still some card which you need to collect in order to push arena. So the reason why you go ahead copying, pro player dog and you still lose is because why you are actually using the wrong card at your arena. Yes. So you need to make sure that it actually goes ahead to copy a player that you are on the same arena. And aside from that, guys, aside from the same arena, one thing about copying a pro player dog is your game style. All right. So game style matters a lot in Clash Royale. Yes. Because actually on my dock over here, you notice I don't really have a defensive dock. I don't really have a defensive dock. Talking about defensive dock, I'm talking about players that goes ahead to use a dock like this, a card like this. These are called defensive dock. They don't move. All they do is stay one place. These are defensive dock, and also this is also a defensive dock. Most player goes ahead to use this dock just to defend that tower, but I don't really like using a defensive dock. So right now, if any new player goes ahead to copy my dog, we might not have the same game style because why? I don't like defending. I prefer pushing than defending. And this dog over here is still a defensive dog because why? They don't come outside until players actually attack them. If they do come outside. And yeah, there's still many other defensive dog which I still don't have and I really don't actually use much anyway because why? I don't really like using defensive dog. I prefer using or dog should be moving. All right. I prefer using or dog should be moving. I've noticed right now I've never go ahead to level this dog yet because why? I don't really like using defensive dog. And yes, most defensive dog are powerless. For example, right now, this dog right now is very good. This card right now is very good. But the funny thing is that when it's facing a card that is flying, it does not do anything. Still the same thing with player that really goes ahead to move. They don't really fight some card that do fly on the air. That is annoying thing. That is the reason why I like to use a card that do shoot players that fly and also shoot players that do walk on the air. For example, the wizard. Yes, the wizard actually goes ahead to shoot too. It fights players that do fly on the air. Also, the witch card also fight players that do fly on the air. And also summon card. Summon some skeleton to support herself. And yes, my favorite, this girl. She's very good at all rounder. She's very good at defending and pushing card. So yeah, if you go and copy a player's, a pro player doc, you notice your game style is not the same. And yes, most pro players actually likes to use this card. All right, the prefer using the giant because why? Giant is very good at destroying tower, and also players like to use this, rare giant also because why? They are also very good to defend tower. So if you go ahead to use any one doc, ask yourself, is it the same game style? Because if it's not the same game style, guy, trust me, you're actually using a wrong duck. So the best thing you have to do is make sure you go ahead to confirm if it suits your game style or not. That's what I always say. Before you go in and copy my duck, always make sure that it suits your game style. And yes, I prefer all these duck. And notice that now most players like to use arrow. All right, most players like to use arrow, and some players still like to use the fireball. They both work alike, but I prefer the arrow for my own sake. Yes, my own sake, I prefer the arrow because I feel like it's okay and it's not that bad to use. But still, fireball still do the same thing. But the reason why I like the arrow more than the fireball is just the unit point. Yes, just the unit points. I call this stuff the unit points. As you can see over here, this fireball costs over 4 units. And yes, 4 units is actually a big thing for me. And the arrow costs only 3 units, which is very small. And even though it's still a common card, 3 units is not something I found that much to use. So yes, I still prefer arrow than fireball. All right. So that is usually, if you go and copy a pro player doc, it might not work for you. All right. So that totally goes ahead to explain why copying a pro player docs does not really work for you. Yeah, if it does help you guys, please don't forget to go ahead and like this video and follow for more updates like this. Thanks for watching and peace out. I have a great day.